Thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. Well, so we're going to be calling. This is the second general meeting of this Rotary year, and everybody rise, obviously. I'd like to ring the bell. Calling this general meeting together to order. Let's take this. I'd like to take a few minutes, everyone, just to just meet and greet your fellow Rotarians, and we'll get into the group, into the group. Yeah. I lost. I got it now. I know. I got it.
Yeah, I can't hear it out of that one. I don't know.
I couldn't find the program.
Oh, they do?
No, I got covered up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but that one's not very loud.
Oh, this one's not loud. No, they're both on. You just have to talk. You got it close.
Right like that. That's perfect.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, everyone. Let's get back. We're to get the program going. I'd like now to have Leo Avila come up to the podium, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation and our national anthem. So will you all please be seated. Leo. And one thing also, just if y'all are not aware, one of our members, Alan Wynn, had a heart attack. And so keep me in your prayers. Here's Leo. He's doing all right, though, but he's in the hospital right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before we get started, we'd like to have a moment of silence for a fellow Rotarian from this club that recently passed away, Herb Durham. So. All right. Dear Lord, we'd like to pray for all those that are in need, that are in conflict zones, that are going hungry or homeless. We'd like to pray for our fellow Rotarians here and throughout the world, and pray that we have a successful meeting this afternoon. Now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the national anthem.
Thanks, Leo. And as I mentioned, Alan, as we understand, is in medical city, and he's doing okay. But he feels it may have happened. He maybe had 2 or 3 small heart attacks, but he's with it. But just keep him in your prayers, please. And now it's time for Happy Bucks. So, Richard.
All right. Happy Bucks, joys. Okay, Jill.
All right, so I'm happy the parade is over. Actually, we have a few more things to do, thank you notes, and give out the trophy and all. But Alan and I did want to give you all our personal thanks for all of you who helped. Alan was supposed to be here last week to give our thanks, and he, on Friday morning, got one of those horrible things as an attorney where you get the opponent to file something or other that has to be filed back with the court immediately. So he couldn't be here, so thank you to Philip for filling in for us. And then obviously he wanted to be here today, but could not. So anyway, thank you all for everyone who participated in the parade. We could not have done it without you. And get ready for next year.
And were there really 20,000 people there? I mean, it's huge. Pat.
Hi, this is in dedication for my brothers and my husband. My sisters and I, there's 5 of us, we have a tradition of doing a yearly Sister Palooza, we call it. So the men folk decided they would come up with their own one, and they're having their 2nd annual Smoldering Guy this weekend. So.
It's like Burning Man?
Yeah, kind of like Burning Man.
Hello. My cousin Ainda had a heart transplant a year ago this month, and he was able to see his daughter graduate high school this May, so glad to have him still here.
That's great. Thanks, Richard. And again, I want to thank Jill and Alan for a wonderful parade. And I will tell you that being on that float and in the perspective I was in that position, it was very memorable, and I'll never forget that. Right now, I'd like to introduce guests. So if you have a guest, please stand.
Eric.
This is my friend, Marie Diaz. She is back for the 2nd time with us. Marie is the Chief Vision Officer for CEO Clubs, and she's also an entrepreneur owns some med spas. So if you need a little work, all that sun beating down on you, come see Marie.
I am very pleased and proud to introduce to you all my #1 granddaughter. And somebody said, well, does that mean she's the first granddaughter or the best granddaughter? And out of 6 grandchildren, I better just call her the first one. I might get in trouble. Lily Ann Hargrave is a graduate of Texas Tech University with a degree in special education, and she's working on her master's in that field, and is teaching in a special school here for people with autistic problems. And she's, well, we're going to hear more about her later.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Welcome.
I'm very fortunate today to have my guest, Liz Ginsburg. She is a local. She's been here 27 years. She's been an attorney in Dallas for 30, and she is getting ready to run for House District Seat 108. She'll be running in the Democratic primary. So,
Hey, Sue.
My guest is my sweetheart, Sue Colley.
That's it. Except, great to see Orf Salmon. That's fair. He's a member, but we don't get to see him as much as we used to. Welcome.
Thanks, Richard. And now I'd like to have Greg Pape come up and speak to the foundation.
Thank you, President Jeff. I'd like to have past District Governor C.C. Colley come up. I'd like fellow Rotarian MARYLLYN Hargrave to come up with her #1 granddaughter, Lily. And while they make their way up here, just to impress our District Governor, John Curtis, that we always embrace the mission of the Rotary Foundation, which helps Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace by improving health, providing quality education, improving the environment, and alleviating poverty. The Rotary International Foundation, dedicated to 7 areas of focus: basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, peace and conflict prevention, resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water sanitation and hygiene, community and economic development, and support of the environment. That's the Rotary Foundation, the backbone of Rotary International, the source of revenue that runs Rotary. The Rotary Club of Park Cities for 2022-23 fiscal year had a net gain of 7 new Paul Harris Fellows. It had 17 multiple Paul Harris Fellows. It has 20 Paul Harris Society members with a net increase of 6. The club has 20 major donors, 1 new major donor, and 1 new major donor level 2. There are 10 bequests society members among the active membership. As a reminder, the Rotary Club of Park Cities was 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club in 2017-18. Our all-time giving to the Rotary Foundation as of July 1 is $1,075,000. Today we've got a veteran in many ways. We all know and love past District Governor C.C. Colley. He is part of the greatest generation, having honorably served in World War II. C.C. Colley has served 2 consecutive terms as district governor, and at that time, there were 67 Rotary clubs that he had to manage. Our club has, as a Distinguished Service Award in honor of his name, the Distinguished Leadership Award, past District Governor C.C. Colley. Today, it is our pleasure and delight to give past District Governor C.C. Colley his Major Donor Level 2, Major Donor Level 2, C.C. Colley. And we have MARYLLYN Hargrave, another veteran of Rotary. She's been a Rotarian for 33 years. She's a multiple Paul Harris Fellow, and she has achieved today her 4th level multiple Paul Harris Fellow, MARYLLYN Hargrave. In addition, she is going to present her first granddaughter, Lily, with a Paul Harris Fellow, both the certificate and the pin from the Board of Trustees, RI in Chicago to Dallas, Texas, and she's going to read this certificate as she presents it to her daughter, Lily. Granddaughter, sorry. Come on up, come on up. Here's what you're going to read. I'll hold it.
Thank you. The Rotary Foundation of Rotary International presents Lily Ann Hargrave, hereby named a Paul Harris Fellow, in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations among the peoples of the world. And she is a very worldly people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Jeff.
And MARYLLYN, we also want to present to you, because of your long service to Rotary, we have made you an honorary member of our club. Honorary member of our club. We're honoring you, but we're providing you an honorary member of our club.
Thank you.
And here with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Kathy Wall, Marketplace Advertising, if you could step on up.
Hey, it's a real pleasure, this gentleman over there, to introduce, as you all know, Mark is quite a leader in this club. He joined Rotary in 2014. He is also a Paul Harris Fellow and serves on our board as the Public Image and Public Image Chair, not only for us, but for the district. Thank you, Mark, so much. He's also a leader in scouting serving as at the district and council level. Most importantly, Mark is co-founder and CEO of Sync Lab Media. And if y'all don't know what that is, it's a video marketing and consulting firm in Addison, Texas, where he creates video marketing strategies and content so that business and personal brands can create awareness, engagement, and revenue. Very important for that business owner. Sync Lab Media works well with growth-minded executives across all industries who understand that investment in quality video is a really smart business strategy in today's highly competitive digital world. As a Rotarian and Scouter, Mark is committed to building business relationships through trust, solution building, all to the bid for fairness for all stakeholders. More than 80%, that's 80% of all internet traffic is now video related. Organizations of all sizes, all businesses must adopt a video-centric marketing plan and content strategy really to remain competitive in today's world. Connect with Mark on LinkedIn and check out his Sync Lab Media to see all the outstanding work, and he does have outstanding work. He's also a speaker on video marketing and branding best practices. Please keep Sync Lab Media on the top of your mind when you're considering referrals for your friends, colleagues, and clients in need of this really leading edge video marketing solutions. Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you for all you do for the club.
Thanks, Kathy. Just to add to that, and District Governor Curtis can speak to the same, but a lot of you probably don't realize how much Mark does, not just for our club, because we are spectacular in the district with our media, but what Mark does for the district is a whole nother thing. He leads it. He is a subject matter expert with this, and John can speak to that also. Like now to speak to Fred Brown. Come on up, and he has a presentation.
Thank you, President Jeff. We've kind of gotten used to say President Jeff around here, haven't we? So ditto, ditto here, so congratulations. 3 weeks ago, on June 23rd, our club met at Ozona's for the primary purpose of installing our officers and directors for the year 2023-24. At that meeting, we also awarded 7 awards to outstanding individuals for their work during the past year as well. One of those recipients was not able to be with us 3 weeks ago, but is with us today, so we're going to award that today. And it just happens to be the CC Colley Leadership for the District Award too, CC, so we're glad that you and Sue are here with us today, and we're going to be awarding this award. The CC Colley Distinguished Leadership Award is presented to a club member for exceptional leadership both at the club and district level. It honors the leadership of our own CC Colley, who has served our club and the Rotary International in many different capacities. Our recipient this year, this may sound a little redundant as I get into this, but please bear with me, joined our club on August the 22nd, 2014. His sponsor was Happy Franklin. His wife, Lori, and a son who enjoys scouting with his dad and recently earned his Eagle Scout Award. He is a native Texan who has enjoyed living in many parts of the United States and traveling around the world. He is a graduate of the University of Hawaii, and in 2003 he returned to Dallas, the Dallas area, to settle in with his growing family and is heavily involved in scouting with his son. He is involved in film and video production and has been since 1990, and started his own video marketing company in 2005 called Sync Lab Media. The company has grown to become a video-centric digital marketing agency. His passion is golf. He's also known as the Caddy Daddy, and this year marked his 17th time as he caddied for the Junior Byron Nelson Golf Tournament. He is a proud Rotarian, and his Facebook once had a picture with his caption that he was a proud member of Rotary. He is a Paul Harris Fellow, has served as chair of our Media Relations and Digital Content Committee. He and his company, SyncLab Media, play an integral role in our weekly meetings at MAGGIANO'S by managing our AV needs by filming and live streaming our weekly Friday meetings. In fact, he's at the controls today. It's your day. During the 2022-23 year, and again in the upcoming Rotary year, our recipient served Rotary District 5810 as its public image chair. In this capacity, he works with both district officials and individual clubs to help develop and implement better guidelines for improving the image of Rotary on a local and regional level. He also serves as the main sponsor for all social media sources for the district, such as Facebook and Twitter. It is my privilege and honor to present today the 2022-23 CC Colley Distinguished Leadership Award to Mark Neese. Mark.
Thank you, Fred, and thank you, Mark. And again, I don't know what we would have done without Mark during COVID, because that was a tough time, but we came through with his help. So a few announcements. You know, as you've seen in your inbox, we have a lot of social activities coming available. So we have the Rangers game coming up. Who here's going to the Rangers game? I know we have a few here. So I think we're all sold out on the game. So that's on July 22nd. And then I think you've seen this week, we're going to have a dinner at CAMPISI'S. I know I've signed up, and Sarah, we've signed up. So if you can, attend on the 27th for that. You just register online. You don't pay online, but just if you could. And then we have no Friday meeting for Labor Day. Just an announcement. We just made that change here just recently, so you can plan your schedules around that. And now it's time to do our raffle. So we will need, here we go. We need, yeah, absolutely. So, District Governor Curtis, real quick. We have a tradition in this club where we have our speaker pull a number out, and then hopefully those who hold that number, yeah. Thank you. Okay. So the winning number is. The last four numbers are 4747. Got to be present to win. Oh, Mark. Hey, Mark, you can only be up here twice. Okay. So now how this works is we have a deck of cards, and the person whose number is drawn pulls a card out, and if they pull the ace of spades, then they win the pot. And I don't know what the pot is up to now. Half the pot, I'm sorry. How much? 1,500. Woo! Yeah.
Today's his lucky day.
I'm trying to get just one.
There it is.
2 of clubs.
Oh.
As far away from the ace of spades as you could possibly.
That's true.
That's his consolation gift. Yes, you get to keep the card. The deck keeps getting smaller, so next week, thank you very much, Patty. Next week, your chances keep getting better. So today, our speaker, District Governor John Curtis, I think most of you know, our new District Governor. John and I we have spent some time together on the cruise, the district cruise, and also in Melbourne, which was quite enlightening. I'll just tell you, but most of you have probably read his bio, but John is an engineer, has done a lot of work. He's a past president of the La Quinta Rotary Club in California. You've spent time building bridges and such. It's a very long bio. I'm not going to read it for you and have you put you through that, but I'd like to have District Curtis come up here and speak to us on what he has plans for our district this year.
Give me just a minute to get organized. There, I think we've got it. Anyway, I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for inviting me and letting me come and share some thoughts with you. I wanted to also congratulate the people who received awards for their efforts in contributing to the foundation. Cece, it's just a great pleasure to meet with you and have a couple of words. Maybe we can have a few words afterwards too. But thank you for all you've done for Rotary, and it's just great to be in your presence. Thank you. And how's that? Is that better? And I want to thank Mark. Mark has obviously received a very fine award from your club, but he does such good work for the district as our PI, public image person, and I want to thank him for all that he does for the district as well as what he's done for your club. And there's another lady that I think you probably know quite well who does a lot of work for me, and that's Happy Franklin. Happy is my aide. And I couldn't do half the things I managed to do, except that she's there doing them for me, and I really appreciate that. So another member of your club doing such good things at the district. And I want to recognize Kathy Allred, who's here today, District AG, yes. So it's always good to see the AGs be present at these wonderful meetings too. We had a board meeting before this meeting to sort of hear about the things that you do as a club, hear from your various board members, talk about membership, foundation, all the things that are important to you in the things you do, and of course the challenges as well. And we had some very good conversation about that. Appreciate that very much. One thing that seems to be true, though, and you may be aware of this, but in case you're not, all clubs are unique. The one thing that they are all good at is to say the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. But how you pray, how you salute the flag, how you sing or don't sing, it's all different. And how you conduct the meeting, it's a little bit different wherever you go. So no one club is just like some other club. You people are unique. You have a great club that you are part of here, and you should be very proud of the things you accomplish. What I've been doing with the other clubs I've met with so far, and we're just getting started. I'm sort of like Jeff. I'm still in that rookie stage. Jeff did a wonderful meeting today. I think it was your first one, yes? And I think he's going to be really good for you. And I'm still learning too, but I've been to a few clubs now, and we've done little projects that the club has organized that we could do over lunch. We collected food for needy kids. We actually collected some food for rescue dogs and cats because that was what's going on in that particular club area. We did a project yesterday for adult literacy. Had a whole bunch of books, and we put the Rotary labels on the books, put them in boxes that they could be taken out to a group that does adult literacy. One of the things that is very important this year is what our current Rotary president, Gordon McAnally, wants us to continue to think about, and that's to create hope in the world. Create hope in the world. I think that that's something that we do, but now we want to really recognize that that's important for us. It's part of our foundation work, part of our outreach, part of our in-reach too. It's important when we say to be able to create hope in the world, that we are aware of the sort of the mental issues that exist with our own club members, that we are in good shape to reach out to the world. And that means something like, as he points out, when we ask each other, how you doing, oftentimes the answer is fine, because that's typical of what we say. What he's really saying, or what we should really be saying to our fellow members is, how are you doing really? Because sometimes you get a different answer that way, and sometimes it's a way that you can reach out and deal with some of the things that are going on in people's lives that will help create the better mentality, the better mental health, so that we can reach out to all those people that we want to reach out to in our community and in the world. So create hope in the world. That's our byline, and I think you have a banner, perhaps you do, that will reflect that, and if you don't, I'll get you one. But there is a banner that you can hang on the podium here to remember that point. Some of the things that are important to me, probably the first one, the last on the list, but first in my mind, is that we have some fun doing these things, that we can enjoy ourselves as we actually do good stuff in the community. One of the things, as was pointed out earlier, we're going to go to a ball game, and some of the people in the room are going. Some of the people throughout the district, we don't have tickets for everybody, but we have tickets for a number of people to go to the ball game next Saturday and have some fun together. And we also wanted to invite the people from the district that's over in Fort Worth, 5790, to join us, and they will be joining us too. So the idea is to have some fellowship, which I think is important, and to have some fun, which is also important. So, and let's go cheer on the Rangers. They're doing pretty well this season. I think that that should be fun. I also wanted to point out that that I would like to create, and I mentioned this earlier, I'd like to see our district have a singing group similar to what they had years and years ago, when people from all the different clubs got together, formed a singing chorale, and were able to share their talents with the rest of us in a singing thing. We could do that, I think. I'm not the singer. I won't be in your singing group, but I would like to see anybody in this room and all the other clubs come together, form a singing group, and share that with the rest of us, perhaps at the district conference that comes up this spring. So that's one of my ideas. I think that should be fun, good fellowship for people who sing. But I'd also like to see us have a golf tournament next spring. It's a little hard to put one on this fall, but to put on a golf tournament for people who like to play golf, and some people who like to think they play golf, and just have some enjoyment together. It won't be a big money maker. We're not going to charge $200 to play golf, but have some fun. Bring your foursome together with the ones from the rest of the district, and we'll find a course and we can play around. Again, probably next spring. So my thoughts are to continue growing. You want to grow, and I think that's perfectly valid thing for Rotarians to do. We probably won't be all the same people together next year. It's possible we all will, but maybe not. But we need to add to our membership. If we are going to grow by 10 members, let's say, in a club, then we really need to find 20 members to join us. It just works out like that. We want to teach the new people, teach all of us what it's like to be in Rotary, what it's all about, and you have a program that does that. I think you're one of the few clubs that actually has a program to teach people what it's like to be in Rotary. I think that's really good. I'd like you to think about how to work with other clubs. Now, you do a great program. We were very honored to be part of your parade. We were in one of the lead cars, my wife Janie and I. So you do reach out. We know we're very aware of that. But you can work with other clubs. I'm encouraging that. Obviously do the things that you already do, continuity with the things you've done in the past, and growing them into being even better in the future. Those are things that are important to me, and I think to the whole of Rotary, that we can do that. So one thing I'd like to do, though, because it's important to me and I think to the district, is to introduce my wife, Janie, who is with me today and has been with me on these different visits that we've made. Janie has a charity which you all know about. You all know which charity, what about this charity anyway. And I'd like her to spend a few minutes to tell you about that charity. Janie?
Thank you. Well, my charity is End Polio Now. Now, I went through a lot of charities deciding whether I wanted to help women who are being trafficked or whatever. But the reason I chose Polio Plus, and the reason I ask all of you to donate to Polio Plus, is that I've learned through 2 friends of ours that had polio as children that when they get older, they can get something called post-polio syndrome. This is a terrible disease that takes away what little mobility they have left. If they've been able to walk a little bit with a cane or a walker or be in a wheelchair, sometimes they become bedbound and can't even get from their bed to the wheelchair. And it's very sad to see older people who have had polio as a child, had lived all their life with this disability, to be even worse off. So I beg you, please support Polio Plus. It's very, very important we end this disease and end it quickly, now. Thank you.
Thank you, Janie. Cece, I think you were probably in the middle of Rotary when the whole effort to eradicate polio was begun. And we're still at it, but as we see, there's only a little bit left to be done. It just has to be done or it'll all come back. So thank you for that. I've pretty well concluded the remarks I'd care to make, but I leave it open to anyone who may have a question that I could possibly answer, or find somebody else who could answer it.
You want to run it? Just take that one.
Thank you, Mark.
Is it on? On now? Mr. Governor Curtis, so how would you state the state of our district as far as the growth? Because we talked about membership in the board meeting prior to the general meeting. How would you describe it?
Well, what I would say is this: that during the COVID, the pandemic that we've really sort of come out of by now, there was a drop in membership. We fell below about 2,400 members in the whole of our district. We got up to over 2,500 last year. But what happens, and you probably experience it in your club as well, at the end of June, there's one number. At the beginning of July, there's another number, and some people leave the club at that moment, at that time. And that's happened in our district as well. But we were able to increase our membership in the district by 70 or so new members. That means that we're probably 150 that actually joined Rotary as new members, but we lose members too. So that's, I don't know if that truly answers your question, Jeff, but I'd say that we're in good shape, but we're not in great shape. And it's true about Rotary throughout the world that we really need to share the good things we do and find the people with a heart of service to come join us in doing them.
So what's the maximum number we've ever had?
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's a very good question. We have been, we're around 1.2 million now. We've been over that, but not a whole lot over that. We reached a level in that 1.2, 1.3 million for the whole of Rotary internationally. Well, I think it's probably reflective in the same way. It's probably been up around 2,600, something like that. And it dropped down, and it's sort of fluctuating in that 2,500 at the moment. It was never been, as was pointed out, there were 69 clubs in the district that many years ago. There's 61 right now. So how many, what the average attendance is or the average membership, I'm not so sure, but it's probably in the vicinity of about 35 members on average in a club.
Well, Governor, your statement there was very timely. I was going to ask, how many clubs in the district now, and how many members do we have in our district?
Right now, we're just under 2,500 members in the district. And how many clubs? 61. But I must add, too, that we now include the Rotary clubs as equal members, equal clubs with Rotary clubs. And we have 4 of those, but 2 of those are very difficult. And we'll point this out, too. There are 2 that are very difficult to really see them have growth legs, and that's because they're connected to the universities. Those clubs have difficulty maintaining their leadership. The clubs that are the community-based Rotary clubs can continue their leadership, their management, you might say, year after year after year, because it's the same people and they can grow. So there are some issues like that, but we have 4 that are recognized.
We talked about it a bit in our board meeting, but I'd love it if you'd share with the whole club a little bit about your experience at the 4th of July parade this year.
Thank you for bringing that up. We got to ride in your well, a car that was just following the Grand Marshal's car, and they gave us. We sat on the back. I don't know if we were all at the parade or working it in some way or the other. We got this bucket, which is about half the size of this podium, filled with candy, and they said, "Well, you can pass it out." So we thought, "Well, that's fun." And the kids were lovely. They'd hold their hands out like this, and we'd try to get them into their hands by tossing them. This huge bucket that we thought would never run out ran out before we finished the parade. So, I mean, note to self, if you really want candy, get in the early part of the parade. We found that was sort of generally true. I mean, it's too much fun to throw that candy out. It really was. And so we had all that fun. And I really want to thank you for inviting us to be part of it. It was great.
Governor Curtis, thank you very much. And Janie also, thank you very much. And Janie, as a tradition, we are going to make a $300 donation to Polio Plus in your name. And this is for you, for that. And we do appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as Governor Curtis stated, the growth, one thing that one of our initiatives this year, and I think I mentioned this at the when we were at Ozona's, we're going to be starting a Rotary Club, and it will be a community-based club because, as Governor Curtis stated, the line of succession that is found to be difficult at university Rotary clubs because people graduate, they go on to different parts of life. So we are in the process of starting that, and it'll be a community-based club, but it will be the SMU club, which is what we should have had a long time ago. So that's good news. So next Friday, Sol Villasana will be our speaker, speaking on Little Mexico, and Pat Martin will be the chair of the day. And I just want to say before Nolan Duck comes up here for the four-way test, I want to thank my board for all that they've done, and we prepared for this coming year, and I mean that truly. Nolan?
Let's all stand. Join me in the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
That's right. Whole new deal.
I don't know.
I never was.
You were. That's right.
For like 6 weeks. I was like,
I think I run the executive committee of the. Is there anything else I'm supposed to do? I have to go as far.
that's the most, that's the biggest one. There's a couple other ones. I think the parade actually goes on. Did I hear Alan win? Well, I
try to get it set up right away.